Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am joined today by head cross country coach here at JSerra High School, Chase Frazier. Coach Frazier, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me today. We have a lot to talk about. We'll go in the past and talk about the events of Saturday night. It was a banner day for this program. If you take away CIF competitions and things of that nature, I would be remiss to say that this is probably the biggest performance in this program's history. If you don't know what we were talking about, last Saturday night at the Woodbridge Cross Country Classic, the JSerra girls finished second overall in the sweepstakes race of that competition. That competition being the largest one in the United States in terms of the number of athletes and the profile of teams that were there, one of the deepest fields ever assembled in terms of prep on the girls' side. First and foremost, Coach Frazier, congratulations on such a fantastic accomplishment.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having me. And yeah, it was an exciting Saturday night. It really started for our kids on Friday because as you mentioned, with 14,000 athletes and teams coming from all over the United States, getting a spot was number one, where we wanted to get our team tent. So we went on Friday and got a good chance to look at the course and kind of see what we were up against. Unfortunately, that course changed into the next day. So, we plan and prepare, but again, we plan and prepare for anything. And so we were able to have, like you said, one of the best days in our program's history. And honestly, likewise with the guys and the girls, we ran 3 guys into the top 6 all-time school history for their 3-mile time, which for us, that's a historical type of day for us. And then the girls finishing as the number 1 team in California. We've never been ranked number 1 in California before, so that's a new place for us to be, but a place we wanted to be. And it was going to take a race like this, I think, to pull that out of us.
Now, you mentioned the girls' side, the number 1 team in California. For those unaware, JSerra's second place finish, the only team that finished ahead of them, Air Academy of Colorado, with a fabulous team performance there. But JSerra, 146 points, was 50 points higher than the next California team, Buchanan High of Clovis, obviously one of the state powers with a very fine program there. Coach Weaver does a great job there. Just talk a little bit about going into this, maybe taking out, maybe the noise of, we want to see if JSerra can accomplish this and are they good enough here. What did you focus in with the girls in terms of the preparation part and telling them, to be ready for this, and what challenges did you want to see them overcome?
Yeah, so it was, we want to be ready for any opportunity that comes our way. And big opportunities are, they don't come every weekend. So this is a big one for us. We're running against the top competition. And to be ready we need to be ready for a fast start. We need to be ready to not be afraid to put ourselves out there. We know what mistakes we made late in the year at NXN last year with not getting out in that first mile as a group, as a team. First time there, we were, a little unsure. And as we're coming off of different divisional races going into championship races, we got to be ready for a faster start. So this start was the fastest I've ever seen, low 220s in the first 800. So, looking at a low 5 flat mile if it doesn't slow down, and it eased up a little, but not by much. So I was, how are we going to handle it? And we handled it really well. The girls being able to get through that second mile, and we had a lot of positive moves on the third. So it was really good to see us handle what the best in the nation are going to throw down at the start of a race. Because if you can't start with them, you better have a really good finish, because they're going to have quite a lead on you. So I think we did just enough to keep ourselves right in that realm. Being able to finish the 3-mile race with a 25-second gap between 1 and 5 means that we all got there different ways, but we all got there together, in the end.
And you talked about consistency. JSerra was first after the mile team-wise, second after the second mile, and second at the conclusion of the race, which is obviously where you want to be in terms of that consistency factor. Now, you talked about the scoring gap. There was about 25, 26 seconds there. In a race with that caliber of teams and those caliber of runners, that's a phenomenal accomplishment. 34 teams entered that race with a scoring 5, and JSerra was first among all of those 34 teams in terms of their scoring gap. That is something that I think is your biggest weapon. Was there a numerical plan for a scoring gap? Did you say, hey, I want 40 seconds and under, 30 seconds and under, and how did they execute that?
The greatest thing about our team is when our girls step on the line, they're just as unsure of what our 1 through 5 is going to look like as maybe any other team out there. Looking at where's JSerra supposed to finish? Well, we're not supposed to finish anywhere, and that's what I get so excited about watching these races is we got a lot of kids that have shown great things in practice, and sometimes to get there physically and mentally on race day is tough, but if that all lines up, you're going to see big performances. So, Bryn Garcia leading us last year by a significant amount. Odds are she was going to lead us again, and she did just that. She put herself way out there, and she was, up with the leaders in that first mile, which was great to see her, her fight there. So she came, and led our team. Summer Wilson came in second for us, and then we had a really close, tight 1 second, 2 second gap between Kayla Tasser and Annie Packard, and I want to say they worked together, but Annie was working kind of on her own mission on Saturday night, which was really cool to see. She hung back a little bit in that first mile, and then passed 10 people in that second mile, and then it was about 26 more athletes into that third. So to have that type of feeling at the end of a race and be able to come back, and then continue to push our gap forward was big for her. And then to see a freshman get into the scoring top 5 into this big race, and I thought it was kind of cool for all the freshmen involved in the top 3 teams. The fastest freshman of the day was Air Academy's freshman. They got first place. She ran 17:10. And then Reese Hawley for us ran 17:14, just 4 seconds behind. So it's the second best freshman. We got second. And then the third best freshman was on Buchanan's team. So the number 1, 2, and 3 best freshmen finished on the 1, 2, 3 best team. So great for all 3 of those girls, jumping up onto 3 legitimate national top 10 teams and making a difference. So it was really cool to see, that pack do what they did on Saturday night.
And I think to kind of play off of what you said, the ability for your team overall to just execute and be where they need to be. You mentioned it. It doesn't matter how you get there, but the fact that they got there. Mm-hmm. And that end result, again, finishing second in such a high-profile race for the girls. As a coach, you've accomplished a lot. You've won state championships. You've won, CIF championships, all those different things. But to see it on this stage, how gratifying is that? But how do you also say, well, I'm excited, but it is, still mid-September, and the season is not over with yet.
Yeah, and I wish I could see more of it. Cross-country races, I don't get to see it all, and you're looking at your phone more than you're looking up at the, at the race. So, and at Woodbridge with that many people, it's really hard to navigate through with all the twists and turns. So there's a couple spots where you can be and see them a few times, but it was really cool to see because I know where we came from. And the goals that we had, back, during the COVID season we were running on this campus, and we only could run in the Trinity League. So we didn't really, our seniors this year, that was their first look at cross country. And those seniors were the first group, our seniors this year, Georgia, Brooke, Lucy, they're the first group that I had when they were freshmen here. So cross country for them has been like an eye-opening, world-changing experience from 5 teams on the line to us going to these races with, national competition and all that. So to see the program go from where we were, to where we are now is awesome. And we also had a great group of girls running in the rated race right before. We had the girls rated race, then the boys rated race, and the girls sweepstakes race. So within 15 minutes, we had 3 races going on. So I lost my voice immediately, and it was like by the time we got to the sweeps race, I'm like, oh no. I was just yelling at the last 2 teams. So it was fun to see all 3 teams have success. Our boys get up for 4th, and we're still waiting for that impact transfer, Saul, to join the team up in Clovis. So they're just going to keep going up, and all we can do is continue to do what we know, and that's work out every day. Tried to be one of the best teams in the country every day at practice. We don't have elevation training like some of the teams out there, but we got to make it count, while we're down here. So, we're looking forward to seeing what the second half of the year really looks like for us.
So that means that this weekend is a well-earned weekend off for you and the team.
Yeah, a weekend off with like a long run. So, looking at it, some of the girls I think would rather race than do that on my team. So, it's good. We're going to work hard. We're going to be ready for our moments. I'm trying to make sure we manage the races right. We got enough kids, here to make sure that no one's going to be overworked this season. That's my main job is just keep them doing what they do. I know how talented they are. I just can't get in their way, and I just got to keep them sharp and fresh and motivated and happy and confident, and the rest is going to take care of itself.
Well, we definitely look forward to that. JSerra will next be in action a week from tomorrow at the Trinity League preview meet, which will be Friday afternoon, September 29th, 3 o'clock over at Central Park in Huntington Beach. They'll be competing with the Trinity League teams over there. That'll be their next competition. Next invitational competition will be the Clovis Invitation, which will be the week after that, the Saturday after that in early October. Coach Frazier, thank you so much. And again, congratulations on a fantastic job at Woodbridge. We know the job's not done, but we know that you guys will be ready to go ahead and accomplish some more great things this season.
Yeah, I really looking forward to this year, and I'm happy I have such a great group, to share this with. And the coaches, the athletes, everybody here has been doing a great job. So we'll talk to you again soon.
Fantastic. Thank you.
All right.